Okay, without doubt, the hardest game to predict this weekend happens at the Bet365 as Stoke take on Cardiff City. Good evening to both our fans for those respective teams. Liam and James, how are we both?
Evening, Mark.
I'm Mark, you right?
I'm good. Liam, I'm guessing you're better than me, though. Who'd have thought it? We were
Not me.
chatting about whether Neil's, potentially under pressure, and here we are 4 games later, and Stoke are the informed team. I say every week what's going on, but tell me, I mean, were you surprised at the Middlesbrough result?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be probably the more difficult game of the three, even though I knew how strong Leeds were, were absolutely flying. And it turned out to probably be our most complete performance so far out of the three of them. To go Middlesbrough, who like we say, were killing it and completely nullified them. In all honesty, we were a standout team. It was quite comfortable. Shockingly, as a Stoke fan, comfort and football don't normally go together, but it ended up quite comfortable.
I mean, this is a hugely impressive 3-match winning streak, though. It's not just a 3-match winning streak. You've been Sunderland, Leeds, and Middlesbrough. These are teams that are going to be right up there at the end of the year, aren't they?
Yeah.
12 points last 6 outings, up to 11th now, and a fixture list where you don't actually face any of the current four now until New Year's Day. So from now till Christmas, potentially you can make a real case for putting yourselves in the playoffs, can't you?
We can, in typical Stoke fashion. If you ask 99% of Stoke fans, we'd prefer we play in the top six because we seem to be a side that can perform on a bigger game. So it's been over 12 months since we won three in a row. I think it's been 2 years since we won three in a row. So to go four is unquestionable as a Stoke fan at the minute. I can't imagine that happening. But you look at all the teams in the middle of the table. I look at Cardiff and Coventry in the next two games, and I imagine James for Cardiff and Claudio for Coventry will look at us and think that's a winnable game. So, you know, we'll see.
Let's just talk about your defence a little bit because before we were previewing that game, you were heading in with a goalkeeper, and then Bournemouth got on the telephone and recalled your regular goalkeeper back to their squad, and you entered the game with Bonham. Just talk to me about where the negativity comes with Bonham from the Stoke faithful, because there was a lot of conversations and anger and disgust about what Bournemouth did, but more so that they left you with a goalkeeper which isn't viewed very highly.
Yeah. So he was brought in as a number two to be behind Joe Bursick originally, and Joe Bursick, his form completely dropped off a cliff, and his father passed away. He was big into his career, and he really dropped off form. So Jack Bonham come in, and we went through a period of time that every shot that seemed to go at him went in. He's not particularly commanding. Where we had a game on Sky against Reading away, and the ball went over the top of the defence and bounced over his head. And I can't think it was my mate or somebody slotted the ball in, and the camera zoomed in on Jack Bonham, and he just said it bounced really high. All the Stoke fans are just looking at it on the telly, going, "You're a professional goalkeeper. You should be able to read the bounce of a ball." So he's kind of become a bit of a joke around the club. Probably a little bit unfairly. He's not the worst keeper in the world, but you know what fans are like in general. They'll really dig in on someone. I wasn't too happy that he was going to be starting games personally, but I cannot fault him against Boro. Made some absolutely fantastic saves.
Yeah.
So if he keeps that up, he's good with me. What I will say is Alex Neil's already said that if Bournemouth's keepers are fit in January, Travers can't play for anybody else. He's playing for Bournemouth and Stoke, so the likelihood would be hopefully we would get him back.
Yeah.
And he's been really, really good, to be honest, since he's come. He's a very, very decent keeper.
And just a quick word on Rose and McNally in that defence. How good have they been?
So McNally started quite poorly, I thought, and we'd only heard good things, but he's become really solid now. And Michael Rose has been discussing earlier today or was it yesterday, that Alex Neil's given him a specific role where they're picking the danger man out for the opposition and they're pushing him out with him. So we noticed during the game when we played against Leeds, as Joel Perot was dropping back into midfield, Marco Rose was rushing out with him, and it looks odd to the eye to see, but it's actually working quite well.
Okay.
So they've done really well.
Okay, and just thoughts on Cardiff then this weekend. This is a dangerous opposition, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I've been really impressed with them. I think questions over Errol Bullock when he first come in, typical from Championship fans. He's never managed in England, never in the Championship, but they were really good defensively last year, and they struggled for goals from what I could make out. And they've signed a really good forward line. Grant, Robinson, Ramsey, all good players in the Championship. So I think they've done really well. I was speaking to a Cardiff fan on Twitter, and he described them as not brilliant, but not terrible. Probably could have won more games than they actually have, and I'd probably put Stoke under the same bracket. Not brilliant, not terrible. Probably could have been done better. But
Yeah.
if you asked the Cardiff fan at the beginning of the season to be, are they fifth? Are they fifth or sixth?
Six, yeah.
They'd have taken that. Yeah, they'd have taken that, wouldn't they? So
Yeah.
yeah, really impressive and tough game.
Okay, thank you, Liam. Just stay there. We'll get your predictions in a minute. Let's cross over to the man who knows everything about the Bluebirds and travels travels up and down the country watching them. Good evening, James.
Even that,
Another derby, another win.
yeah.
Talk to us about it.
We're all on the as we say down Cardiff, we're on the bullet train.
Um, Bristol made it tough for you at times, but you hung on in, and it's another 3 points.
Another 3 points, another derby win. Another set piece goal as well, which seems to be the key improvement this season, I think. And Errol Bullock, he's come in now. And since he's come in, Gutdas, McGuinness, even Perry NG off set pieces, scoring a lot of goals and important goals as well.
Yeah, we talked about Perry and G last week, didn't we? And Liam has said, "Watch out for the danger man." It's probably that Perry and G is your danger man, isn't it? Going with what's happened recently.
Well, I think if you've seen the free kick he hit in against Huddersfield the other week, out of a strike that, and obviously the head of the on the weekend against Bristol. Yeah, he's been.
Sorry, I don't know if I've lost you there, James. Are you back?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, sorry, it might be my internet connection or yours. Yeah, I mean, weekends don't get much better, do they? Home victory in the derby, local boy in the score sheet, 6 home games undefeated, second consecutive clean sheet, and Nigel Pearson sacked. Do weekends come much better?
Well, to be fair, I mean, like Liam said, we're sort of top six at the moment, and anything after last season around that sort of table now we would have taken. We wanted sort of mid-table finish this year. Anything just stability really, and to be honest, I think Errol Bullock's brought that in abundance this season.
Yeah. Okay, let's temper your mood a little bit then, because most of the points you've accrued this season have been at home, 16 of them to be precise, and away from home, you don't look obviously as strong as you do at home. That's the same many for most sides, but Cardiff in particular seems to be a huge gulf between how you play at home and how you play away. What does he need to do to pick up more points away from home, especially at a resurgent side like Stoke?
To be fair, I think with our away games, they've been quite tough. I mean, obviously in the Championship, there's not a lot of easy away games. But what I mean by that is our away games started with Leeds, Leicester, Ipswich. So real, probably the toughest games that you will get in the league this season away. Um, Obviously, we went to Huddersfield then last week and got quite a convincing win. Um, yeah, I mean, I think obviously over time teams will gel, and you'll sort of know how to pick up points away from them eventually with a bit of time. So, yeah, I'm a bit confident going into this game. I mean, obviously, I know Stoke are quite a decent team, and obviously their form have picked up very well over the last couple of weeks. But I'm confident we can definitely go there at the moment and at least put some sort of a performance in, which I wouldn't have been confident of last year.
Okay, let's get some predictions then. I can't call this one. I'll not be putting any bets on this one. Stoke against Cardiff. Liam, as the home side, you can go first. What are you calling it?
We're a bit draw heavy last season. Both drew 2-2 at our place and 1-1 at theirs, but can't see there being a lot of goals. We've kept 2 clean sheets in a row, and we know Cardiff are good at the back. Going to go 1-0 win Stoke and go for that elusive 4th win in a row.
Okay. James, counter that.
I'm gonna have to say 1-1. To be honest, again not a lot on it. My heart says 2-1, but my head says 1-1, and I think that'll be a decent point on the road and just keep us ticking over, really.
Great. Nice one. We will check in with you both next week. Enjoy the game. Thank you both for joining us. And yeah, we'll
Yeah.
cheers.